Welcome to episode 3 of the RS Nerd Herd podcast for Thursday, September 22nd, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Baum, and on today's episode, the nerds will discuss the Zamorak Drop rate reveal, the changes to bossing in the Ironman mode, and the 2022-2023 roadmap. With all that out of the way, let's get into things. So how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Doing well, thank you.
Good. How are you?
It's been a pretty interesting week, but last couple weeks, but overall not too bad, not too bad. So what have you guys been doing in game IRL and stuff?
Quitting my job.
Quitting your job.
Getting a new one. Hanging out with you guys. Thanks for all the support. You guys are awesome.
Well, no problem. So, quitting your job, are you got any plans for what you're gonna do after you quit, or just you gonna escape?
YOLO.
I'm gonna escape all day, every day. Just kidding. No, I'll be working.
Alright, you got a new job then lined up and everything, I assume then?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's good to hear. Tony, what have you been up to in RuneScape and stuff like that?
Right now, I've just been grinding archaeology, trying to get a Spear of Annihilation tip, but continues to elude me.
That's
Other than that, I've been letting people leech from me in ED3.
Who would that be?
Gee, I wonder.
Ouch.
And just been working. Nothing exciting. Oh, I guess last week I did one run of the Ambassador, and I ended up spooning a Eldritch crossbow piece.
Oh, nice, great.
Nice.
Other than that, nothing.
Anyone else that been doing anything interesting? Personally, my week's been pretty stressful at work, but besides that, I'm going on a fishing trip here this weekend. I had watched the Pokemon trading card game tournament that went on last weekend here, and one of the players from our local store ended up winning the whole regional championship. So congratulations to Piper on winning that. That's pretty cool. So
Nice.
players from our store have actually won the last 2 regionals here in the U.S. In
Wow.
What was it? I forget. Milwaukee, which was the end of the 2022 season, right before the international, and then this first one of the year for 2023 season. So we're on kind of a win streak here. But besides that, yeah, I've been playing my Ironman a bit more. I've been spooning leeching runs from ED3 from Tony there. So I've gotten like 90 magic by just running with him, and he's been tanking everything in there for me, so I can get some free XP. Which is funny that we talk about that, because that's actually going to be one of our topics here about the Ironman community changes that are coming up. But RuneStar, have you been up to anything much this last couple weeks since our last episode?
Nothing much. Trying to get through the yak track on my Ironman and my main. Just getting ready for Fresh Start Worlds, to be honest.
Hey, you got maxed.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, so
I've been so focused on other stuff. I did max finally on my main.
I think you got that right before we recorded the last episode, but it never kind of came up. But congratulations on maxing. So
It only took 16 years.
Hey, but you got it done. That's quite an achievement. Now we just got to do it on our Ironman accounts.
Gotta do it all over again.
at least once more for Ironman, and maybe a second time for Fresh Start.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
See what happens first.
Yeah. Spider, you got anything new going on?
Yeah, not too much. I've been playing my hardcore quite a bit more than my actual Ironman account. It's always. I feel like it's always. I definitely get more enjoyment starting out in the game and getting levels and actually pushing through easier to achieve things, especially like working full time. More manageable achievements or goals are more fun. So I've been playing my hardcore. Outside of that, work. I started a new position at my job. Been a little bit stressful at work, but nothing too bad. And not too much else. Rocket League is about to start its new season, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably not going to go to the next LAN, but it's okay.
Oh, what? Well, what reasons for that? What? Some come off that weekend, or just?
No, I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous 4 LANs I had been to, and I feel like they really diminished the reward for going to LAN. Like previously, you would get like a lanyard if you went. They'd give you free swag, like a T-shirt. They'd give you a little like a little tote bag, and they even gave you a free in-game item, which it doesn't seem like they're doing that this time either. So it seems like everything that was kind of not just the event itself, but something special that you would get to take home, memorabilia that you get to take home and look at later, that's all gone. So I don't know.
That makes a lot of sense. I know we were having that same issue in the Pokemon community at this last regional. People weren't getting the rewards that they were promised or like anticipating, and that kind of like soured some people. So I can understand how that would be. Like getting rid of rewards kind of makes you feel less motivated to want to go to events.
Yeah, I mean they doubled the price of the tickets too, or at least double. It might have been more than double. And they did less for the people that actually came out. The whole like meet and greets for all the players and stuff were really limited versus having one for every team that was attending. I don't know. It's just it didn't feel as fun. I mean, it was a lot bigger of a event the last one that I went to. I mean, like 13,000 people instead of the typical like 7 to 8. So it was quite a bit bigger. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how excited I am when the actual comes around.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll have a fun time if you go, or if you don't go, you'll have a fun time in RuneScape with the rest of us.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So the first thing on our schedule is the Zamorak Drop rate reveal. So this actually came out again right before our last episode, but there wasn't enough to really discuss on just that, so we kind of just glossed over it and saved it for today. But I'll just quickly gloss over like what came out and what changes they're making to it. We can kind of discuss whether we think these are we like the system, because I know some people had contested opinions online, and I'd kind of want to hear what the nerds have to say about it. So we'll jump into it here. Upon defeating Zamorak, the loot tier list is based on the enrage that you kill, and it goes up. Just an example, like 0 to 19 enrage is tier 1, 20 to 49 is tier 2, and as long as you're inside those tiers, the rewards you get will not increase. And so it kind of seemed from people mathing it out that doing a enrage of either 50 or 100% enrage was the best drop rate in terms of like drops per time, because every time you went up, it barely increased your chance to get a drops. So, for example, at tier 1, let me see here. Scrolling through this list here. At tier 1, it's like a 1 in 97, I think it is. Yeah, 1 in 97 drop. And it only gets like better by 1% every time you move up a tier. So doing like a 2,000 enrage kill, for example, wasn't giving you a much better drop for a chance on the rares. So do you think it's a good thing that enrage didn't really benefit people at all? Or do you think it should be like the more enraged you like, the better your drop rate is? Because it's going to take you a lot longer time, a lot better supplies, or a lot more supplies. And like, for example here, just the 2,000 enrage is a 1 in 28 chance at a drop, but you could probably get 6, 7, 8 runs of a lower tier done by the time it takes to get one run done at a 2,000 2,000 in rage.
That does. It sounds like they made it kind of worse. It does sound like they did make it a little worse, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think the higher in range you get, the more easier it should be to get a drop, not just slightly increased chance. That doesn't seem right. But
yeah,
I don't know.
50
I haven't.
At 50 in rage, it's a 1 in 97 drop. At 2,000 in rage, it's a 1 in 28, and at 100 in rage, it's like a 1 in 80. So like,
that's a big jump for. Well, I mean, it cuts the drop rate in half, but like more than half. But I don't know.
Yeah, I guess to me, it just seems like camping 100 in rage and just killing Zamorak over and over is pretty much the best way to do it. You get like a 1 in 80 chance at a drop. It also affects normal loot, but normal loot is so minuscule in terms of like overall profit. It's not that important.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I think it's kind of similar with Solak, not Sol. Telos. Sorry, with Telos. As far as like enrage goes, I think the best thing you can do. I mean, the people figure it out. They figured out like the best you can do is like streak from 100 to 580 or something like that, rather than pushing high enrages. So I can't say it's too different than other bosses with enrage percentages. And it seems like the higher enrage percentages are just like achievement things because they come with titles and stuff.
Yeah, I guess to me it's like I almost kind of wish there was a middle ground because I do think like there has to be a point where it stops getting better. Like
yeah, cause
and just pushing
just
pushing the enrage would be something where it's like it's just more of a pride thing or like a high scores race type of thing where it's just kind of a personal accomplishment. But if camping at 100% being like the best drop chance in terms of like GP per hour seems a bit too low.
I agree.
Yeah.
Somewhere like 500 or even 1,000% maybe might be a better middle ground. So I feel like they kind of underbalance this, but I mean that more help to me because I'm terrible at PVM. It'll be nice to be able to camp at like 100 in rage and not have to worry about anything. But
no, I agree with what Spider said too. Like, if you're at like a significantly higher in rage, like 2,000 rage or something, like your drop chance should be significantly better than just doing like 50% in rage or 100%, because that's how Telos works too. Like the higher in rage you are, like his drops become a lot more common, and I don't know, that could be them like trying to make it not as difficult to get like the best in slot gear and weapons, you know, like in this day and age compared to what it was 5 years ago, where you go to, Virago or something and you have a chance to get like a seismic wand and it's like 1 in 200, you know. And now it's like there's better weapons and stuff out there that have lower drop rates.
Yeah. One thing I think, sorry.
No, good.
I think that it would be interesting to see, and maybe I feel like I might have read this on one of the recent posts, is like a better bad luck mitigation on the higher end ranges. Not necessarily like an extremely increased drop rate, but let's say keep that 1 in 27 as being your drop rate, but as you get closer to getting 27 kills done in that time, your percentage of getting the drop goes up way higher. So like let's say at 27 kills you'll have the drop. Like if you don't have it by 27 kills, you'll get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus
So
like
they did add a bad luck mitigation. I probably should bring that up now. So the way bad luck mitigation works is depending on I'll just read it right here. This was the change that they had made. Bad luck mitigation now only can be accumulated if you are doing kills at 100% in rage or higher. Before, it used to be every time you hit the drop chance, it would reduce the denominator. So if it was 1 in 97, if you were doing 50% in rages, it would drop it to 1 in 96. And it then had a cap at 1 in 20. So now if you're doing, it increases at different speeds depending on what enrage you're at. So at 100 it's still 1 denominator, 500 it's 2, 1000 it's 4, and at 2000 it's 8. And it's still, I think, or the cap was lowered to a 1 in 10. So if you do 28 kills, it would lower it at 2000 in rage, which, mind you, that's a long kill, very difficult kill. But if you were to do 28 and didn't get a drop, it would drop it down to 1 in 20, and then it cap out at it caps out at 1 in 5 at 2000 in rage, 1 in 10 at 1000 in rage.
Okay, so that's kind of more reasonable. It sounds like the closer you get to actually touching the drop rate, it's almost more guaranteed of a drop at the higher enrages.
Yeah, but again, if you're doing those really high end rages and you actually are hitting the bad luck mitigation, man, it probably would have been nicer to be doing that at 100 in rage instead, because those kills are going to be going lightning fast in comparison to a 2000 in rage. But I guess I haven't done much of it, so maybe it doesn't scale up all that bad at 2000. I don't know. Have to ask a more seasoned PVMer, but I do like that change.
It would be nice if they were to implement some of that like bad luck mitigation with like older bosses, I guess, too, but that would probably require them to go back and rework stuff that they probably don't want to.
It would be nice for sure. I'd like to see that, but yeah, I don't think that's something we'd be seeing anytime in the future.
I think the direction they're going is just power creep, so those old bosses are just, you can AFK them basically.
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen people go like over 1,000 kills with no like scythe hilt, from a Raxor, and it's like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would also be nice if there was some kind of scaling based on what items you haven't seen. Because I know some people that get, like, for example, Tony, you're, what, 3 codexes for Raksha? You've had 3 of the...
I have a total of 5 codexes, and I'm still missing Greater Ricochet.
Yeah. How many
4
kills?
Greater Chains and 1 Divert.
What's your kill count at?
666.
Oh, so you're over drop rate for it, yeah.
Wow. I have 333 solo and 333 duo kills.
Okay, that's a lie. I feel like he's making these numbers up. Those are too perfect.
I can screenshot
it. 333, yeah.
333
He must have planned it.
Nice.
Totally unplanned, but yeah, I haven't killed Raksha now for quite a while. I guess I've been taking a break. Burnt out.
That's fair. You've been doing a bit of Solak, right?
A little bit.
Oh, that's actually one of the other major changes we've had for bosses. So besides just Zamorak getting some bad luck mitigation changes, we also have some changes to Solak where they have scaled it down to a solo mode. So you have any interest in taking on solo Solak?
Possibly. I have the Crypt Bloom, so like I have the armor, I guess, that would help with tanking his melee hits, but I don't know how easy it would be to do with tier 85 Wand and Orb. I think I still need a little bit higher weapon damage, I guess, but I'd be willing to give it a try.
Yeah, so they've repurposed Solak to now have 2 million life points. His core life points are at 125, and his arm is 45, and his leg is at 35. That's all 1,000, not so 125,000, 45,000, and 35,000. So if you have the right DPS numbers, it's now a soloable boss. So if you want to jump out and kill some Solak, go for it. I personally will not be touching that for quite some time. I'm going to leech it in the best ways I can. And speaking of leeching, the big piece for our episode, the Ironman changes. So this week, just a few days ago, Jagex has made some Ironman changes that now allow Ironman accounts to boss with regular accounts, and Ironman accounts will now be awarded drops in the same manner as normal accounts, including loot share. They can group up for elite dungeons and bosses along with normal players. They still cannot dungeoneer with normal players. We tested that out, but besides that, instances, you no longer need to use an instance as an Iron Man. You can use the uninstance version, but the discount you got for making instances as an Iron Man has also been removed. So, Spider, I know you have some thoughts on this change, being a long-time Iron Man player. So, what are your thoughts about this change?
Well, I mean, it feels like they are diminishing achievements of being an Iron Man. Like there was something. The initial feeling of it is like, what? So what's next? Are they just going to allow treasure hunter access to treasure hunter for Iron Man? Just remove the bonus XP items. That's like, I'm pretty sure when I saw that news post, I even sent you a message. I was like, so what's next? You know, treasure hunters available, just not bonus XP items. So like, it definitely feels like they're diminishing Iron Man achievements. I don't like it. Every bit of me is like, oh, this is going too far. I don't like it at all. It seems annoying. I don't know who asked for this. That's another thing. It's like, who's out here asking for this to happen? I don't know too many people complaining too much about uh not being able to boss with main accounts. But I don't know everybody, but it feels like a long time ago when I would achieve something in RuneScape, they would come out with a different way of doing the skill, and it really diminished the achievement that I had earned. So that's kind of where I'm at. I have been an Ironman player for a long time. I've earned max. I've done like pretty much every boss, learned it myself, or went with people at the same like skill level as me, trying to like earn our way through it, and it feels like they're just kind of ripping away that hardworking achievement type of thing. Now you have to ask somebody, oh, did you leech this or whatnot? But that's my initial feeling on it.
I understand the mindset. My first thought is this opens it up to Ironman accounts to playing with normal accounts, and that just increases the amount of people that are able to communicate, like work as a community. Because before the game was definitely Iron Men are on one side, main accounts are on the other side. We pretend the other side doesn't exist. We don't interact with them, and it was kind of both sides felt like they were better than the other. Iron Men are like, well, we achieve everything we have, and main accounts were like, well, we've been here longer. We get to play the game the way it was supposed to be played. You get like it feels like two completely separate games, and now it's like, all right, guys, let's stop fighting, let's work together. And but in terms of the devaluing of achievements, I feel like the Iron Man community kind of already did that to themselves, because there was already large groups of people that were selling like leeching services. Like I was saying before, I myself was one of the people that was leeching off of a max player already. I just had a Tony stand in ED3's tanking things for me while I leached free magic experience off of the broken experience rates or in the elite dungeons. So it's like those things were already happening. It's just kind of now people being able to do it out in the open now.
Or just by themselves.
Or by themselves.
They can just grab their main account and go do certain things by themselves without involving community whatsoever. So, I don't know. I could. It's annoying.
Anyway,
Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, Tony, what are your thoughts?
I think that the whole elite dungeon leeching thing, I mean, that's been around for a while because like it's like you progress so much faster in RuneScape. Like by the time you buy like a Batwing wand and book or whatever, it's like you're already up to Mystic or whatever. But like the for myself, I guess like certain bosses that like are hard to find people for, like Virago or like Rots or even Angel of Death, I think it would benefit a little bit to try to fill in like people who like those bosses have high requirements, so it's kind of hard to always find Ironman with like high weapon, high gear, armor, etc. But um, like I guess if myself, I wouldn't pay people. Like I feel like if an Ironman is like paying a main account to like leech Virago kills to get like a seismic wand or like an orb, like then to me that kind of defeats the purpose of playing an Ironman like entirely. Like if you're paying somebody for like drops like that, like at least myself, like if I was doing that, I might as well just play a main account at that point. But I guess like leeching experience, I guess is a little bit different. But if people are out there like leeching, trying to buy like services to get like weapons and stuff and upgrades, like then I don't see a reason to play an Ironman account at that point. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
Oh, I totally, for the most part, agree with you, especially on the leeching for the drops part of things.
Yeah, I
The
don't see how you might as well just play a main account at that point, in my opinion.
I guess the only thing you could say is like it's that whole idea of maybe wanting stolen valor, where it's like, oh look at me, I did this as an Iron Man. Doesn't that make me special? When you know that you did it in all the most cheap ways, and I'll admit I'm very much in that camp when it comes to just trying to max my account, but it's not to be like, oh look at all these 99s I have. It's to be like, yo, now I can actually go and do stuff with my team or my friends. Now at this point, it's almost like I might as well just do it with my main. But I'll still probably level this Iron Man, so I've already started it. Kelly, do you got any opinions on this one?
No. Sorry, guys.
No opinion.
Zero opinion. I don't boss, so I exactly. It makes no difference to me.
But we can boss together now, Kelly. You bring those ascensions I gave you on 331 Gladiator, and I'll sell you Raksha leeches.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
What?
Can you? I wonder if you can get into this. Is gonna be piss me off even more. If you can get into a freaking Ascension boss room as an Ironman off of a main account.
Ooh.
Key. Because that 100% diminishes your achievement as an Ironman.
You know, I didn't even think of that. That's
the other thing that's I was wondering is like, yes, AOD is hard to get the right amount of kills, but Ironman, a max amount of people they could have in the room was 10. So you had to have people that were good and knowledgeable about the game. But with main accounts, you can just mash the boss and kill him like instantly. Is that
so for that? I'm pretty sure
cap gone.
No, so for that, I think it still holds it to the Iron Man cap. So like you wouldn't be able to have more than 10 unless you kicked all the Iron Men out.
In that case, I'm starting to feel a little better about it. But it was like all this is just alarms going off in my head. Like you were completely destroying the point of playing an Iron Man. Like end game content in this game isn't necessarily leveling. It's nice to get achievements like leveling achievements on an Iron Man, but end game achievements is acquiring like end game weapons because you kind of have to go do it yourself or with a team that knows what they're doing. And I get I don't know leeching communities in the Ironman community. The Ironman clan I'm in does not promote leeching whatsoever. I will agree with you with your point that it is very exclusive. There are no main accounts allowed in my clan. They won't but like there's no main accounts in there. But I think that was more so the point of keeping like new people to Ironman, giving them access to people that are knowledgeable about the game and an easy way to access Ironman that would help them out to achieve what they're going for. But now, I mean, there's no point in having like an exclusive clan because everybody can do anything with anyone. So I kind of I do understand your point with like that, where it does open up that border between like I'm an Ironman, so therefore I'm exclusive from main accounts, and no main accounts can join my clan or whatever. But it does seem like they're breaking down achievements in the end game portion of the game, like getting items and stuff.
Yeah, and I wonder how much will it change things. Then, in terms of, cause I know a lot of people when they create their Ironman, it started out as I don't want to participate in MTX.
Yep.
And a lot of people enjoy the game without it, and they enjoy the Ironman style of play more because of it. So I wonder how many people are gonna actually straight up leave just Ironman and go back to a main account, since it's like, well, what's the point of being an Ironman? Like, I still think the microtransactions, not having to deal with microtransactions, is still a big plus.
For sure.
Hopefully, we don't see that breakdown, because that for me would be a real like.
Oh, I'm going old school Ironman then, because
Yuck.
like
I couldn't.
I like or I'm just quitting the game if they open up MTX for Ironman, because it just, I don't know. I've played the game for 6 years, 6 or 7 years as an Ironman, not even seeing like key offers every day and all that other stuff.
It's nice.
It's very nice. It's just me in the game earning my achievements, and I feel like I don't boast about it all that much, but there's little things that you can do to like show off your achievements without having people ask too much. You just have the Ironman title on and you have Ascensions equipped. Or,
yeah, people can put those pieces together and be like,
yeah, that took time. That took effort. Yeah. Or clues. I guess clues is the last one thing they can't destroy. I mean, they can. We'll see how they destroy it. I don't know. You see Ironman with keepsake third age items on all the time, because that's hard to get on an Ironman.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of exactly how, because I might be wrong. Maybe people really do take advantage of, like, because I don't think that it's gonna make that big a difference in terms of like Ironman having things that they haven't really earned. But who knows? Maybe the ability to play with mains really does all of a sudden inject all these like fake achievements into the Ironman community that I just don't.
I think the biggest one, now thinking about it, is because, like you said, I guess there are people out there that probably buy leeches, but like Tony said, what's the point of playing an Ironman then, other than like you feel like you can show off that you accomplished something? But I think the biggest one that would show like you're diminishing it is Ascensions, because it takes a long time grinding out the keys to get Ascension drops.
Yeah.
If I can if a main can buy the instance and then an Ironman can go in and get the drop, then yikes.
I didn't even consider that. If that works, that's crazy.
I think it says on Wiki, even though legions are designed for solo encounter, they may be fought in a duo as part of co-op Slayer. So, but I don't know if irons and main accounts can co-op Slayer. But like,
I don't think you can. I think it would work like Dungeoneering, where it just says you can't do that with an iron account. And I think at some point it said that the iron had to host the instance.
Okay.
I think the iron and mainscapes being able to boss together is like probably gonna benefit the higher level bosses more. Like, honestly, if an iron account is gonna have a main account like carry him just to get like tier 70 armor from like General Grotto or something, like who cares? Like, that's not best in slot by any means. Like, that armor is like mid game, late game, like kind of gear, I guess. But like,
I feel like people disassemble it anyway if they have good perks on it.
Like, I think it's gonna benefit more of like the high level bosses like Angel of Death or Solak and all these other ones that might be hard to find irons, that are equipped to do that late game kind of PVM, but yeah, but like I said too, like if an Ironman is going to be paying, somebody to leech kills off of a boss just to get like weapon upgrades, it's like then why play an Ironman at that point? Like at least have some pride, I guess. I don't know.
Or not. Maybe it does still feel like an achievement if you're going there and doing the kill and going through the time. I don't know. For me, it doesn't feel like an achievement. Like I like to do things myself, and maybe that's why I enjoyed Ironman from the get-goes, knowing that I like to do things by myself.
I mean, I've done Angel of Death on this account, and like I wasn't really. I mean, in a sense, I was leeching, but not in a way where like the me leeching was because like I have ascensions with criminal bolts, and then I go with people, some people who have like the new fractured staff of Armadil, which is insanely broken, with like the Reaver's Ring and Grimoire, where it's like you know, you four people are all specking, and the boss has 200 life points, and 5 seconds later it's dead. Like,
Yep.
but that's because damage cap has been increased so much in the last few years. Like, I guess it's kind of leeching, but like I still have like the tier 90 weapons, the armor, almost best in slot perks. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm leeching
I wouldn't say
necessarily,
you're
but like,
leeching.
but yeah, like I'm going with people who have these like best in slot weapons and stuff like that, and that's just the damage output right now with magic is much higher than with range if you have certain weapons.
Yeah, being the lowest level in a group doesn't make you a leech. It's like you're fully geared to do the boss. It wasn't like you were coming in with like tier 70s. You were participating, doing everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
me
that's
going with me with the gear that I have now 5 years ago wouldn't have been considered. That's probably what most people would have.
yeah. So that I wouldn't call that leeching. That's just being the weakest or the lowest level in a group. That's nothing wrong with that. But
Yeah.
we do have
Thank you.
we do have one other major topic. If anyone got any last pieces for the Iron Man before we jump over to that?
I just want to say, like, this. So, like, ever since Tony switched over to Iron Man, like, we haven't really been able to do all that much together, the three of us. So, like, this kind of opens it up that now that I've maxed recently, I could start getting in on boss kills with him. That back back when he first switched over, we couldn't do that because I just wasn't there as a player. I didn't have the time to get where you guys were. So I am like a little bit excited for it. Kind of like who cares right now at this point because of us doing all the stuff we're doing with irons and Fresh Start Worlds coming up. But like it might be something that we could pursue later on. I could get into bossing.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one thing I was saying before I like is that there are people that are split. Their groups are split up, and it's almost like you're in your group, I'm in my group. We can talk to each other, but like we can't participate in any of the same stuff. So I think it's nice that when it's being used in that method, when it's being used to just devalue Iron Man accomplishments, it sucks. But
Yeah.
it is like
I guess what you said. I mean, I'm starting to come around on it because what you said earlier is there are people that were already devaluing accomplishments on like out of my knowledge, like in a different community than the one I've been involved in. But I'm sure there were people leeching from other irons that had best in slot gear and could take a leecher along. But like the Kalanaman typically says, like they have a learner slot for their events or whatever, their bossing events. They have a learner slot, so there's a newbie that can come along. But after 10 kills, they say, hey, like you have to try and do a roll. You have to try and do something.
Yeah.
And I actually really like that. I think more communities should incentivize that because RuneScape players, and maybe it's just MMO players or people in general, I don't know, but I've seen it before in communities where players become so fixated on XP per hour and all that kind of stuff, being efficient, that they don't want to take the risk of bringing a new player along because it might slow them down, or that new player might get them killed, and the death costs are going to be so high because they're bringing 17 switches and it's going to cost them $1 billion gold to frickin' buy their stuff back. Which, that's a whole nother issue. But, like, not feeling like you're able to participate because you're not already at that expert level, it's nice that there are still communities out there that are willing to teach. And that's really what I hope this focuses a lot more on, is getting those players that can't find groups, finding them groups. Even if it's not just only Ironmen, they are able to branch out and find some main accounts that are willing to teach them. That's good. Just hopefully people don't completely ruin the value that is being an Ironman account.
Yeah. Everyone's got to start somewhere when it comes to learning a boss and its mechanics.
Yep. All right. So our next piece of the discussion topic is the development update roadmap. So just, was it yesterday? I think it was 2 days ago. JX posted a blog that had the development plan for 2022 and 2023. So we're gonna go over that quick. I've got it pulled up here so you guys can all see it. If you're for some reason watching this episode instead of listening to it, but the development roadmap for 2022, we have the new Master Max Capes, skilling location singular, mind you, retro
Sailing.
over. What was that?
I said sailing.
Oh no, that's later. This is a new skilling location, so it's an old skill. Retro overrides, ninja strikes, and then the launcher, which we kind of already have, but maybe they're gonna actually make it more useful. But one of the things I'm noticing they say in there is the Master Max Capes, and that's plural. So does anyone got kind of an idea of what they think that might be?
Oh, that's a good question. Because initially I was thinking it was just going to be like a max cape plus 120, like a thing that you can get max cape right now at just all 99s, but there are skills that go to 120 before they're considered like finished. So I thought Master Max would be like, hey, you've got the 120s checked off too.
Yeah.
But that would be a singular cape, so I have no clue what the Master Max capes are.
Yeah,
200 mil cape?
I was thinking of 200 mil capes.
It was either that or maybe like somebody having level 120 in every skill, even ones that like don't necessarily actually go up to level 120.
Yeah.
That was like, somebody who doesn't have 200 mil in every skills, 5.6 or whatever it is, but they have a virtual level of level, 120 in every skill.
And that could be too. I mean, they already have the 120 capes, so it's like having a master of all the 120 capes give you the Master Max cape. But that, again, my thought is that's only one. So this, I would assume, because it's Master Max capes, it's referring to one for each skill. So like my only thought would be 200 mils, but it could be a combination of you have all the 120s in every skill and you have like the max cape at the same time. So that's multiple capes there. New skilling location. That's from what I was reading. From what it says here, it's going to kind of be like the fletching and fire making location that they added. So it's a new place to train, new training method. Or no, that's the next one. It's going to be like that. So maybe this is just adding new locations around the game for different skills like archaeology, that kind of stuff. I don't know. And then like they said, like they had ninja strikes, the stuff they're doing constantly in the JX launcher. 2023 though, this is kind of the big one. So there's the new storyline. So it sounds like the Elder God storyline with Daughter of Chaos is going to be the end of that, and we're going to get a new story. Updated death costs. I am exactly what it says. I think that would also come with the GE tax and the new like GE buy limits and stuff like that added. New training method, which was the Grandma Potterington thing, the fire making fletching training at the same time. New quests, and then the big one, the new skill.
Ooh.
So 2023, sooner than I thought, if I'm being honest. I'm a bit upset that it's coming in 2023 and not 2025 because I
Really?
still because I think I mentioned this on the first episode. My goal is I wanted a 200 mil all skills before the new skill came out because I wanted to be in that race for rank 1.
Gotcha.
Now with the new skill coming out in 2023, that means I'm going to have to be going on a hardcore grind in order to try to get as close as possible as I can to 200 mil, and that's probably not going to happen.
Huh.
Seems like archaeology hasn't even been out that long for them to already like talk about bringing out like another skill.
Yeah,
like I know archaeology's been out for a few years, I think, but like I mean, from invention to archaeology, like what was the time gap in between those two skills? Like, hopefully they don't start coming out with new skills every year, or like every few years, and it's not as hype as it is, when they come out with a new skill every 2 or 3 years compared to like every 5 or 6, and it's like the skill is awesome.
Yeah, archaeology was great when they came out
Yeah.
with it. Well done. I don't remember the time gap, but it was well done.
I'm looking it up here.
April 4th, 2020 was archaeology. 2020, April 4th.
It was 2016. January of 2016 was invention.
So 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years, and now it looks like 3 years. So I mean, I guess
it's not. I guess it's not as much as I thought it would be.
Especially if it's like the last update of the year. If it happens in like November, December.
Yeah.
It's almost exactly 4 years. Well, I mean, that's not. I guess I'm just slow. I need to get on speed things up.
I guess invention was out earlier.
Looking at so Kelly, Runestar, either of you have an idea what the new skill might be? What would you think, or what would you want it to be?
Obviously, sailing.
I knew that was coming.
It's still coming out.
They've only been working on it for what, 8 years?
Oh, it's
longer than that.
Are we talking from the first like ever mention of it, or because that was like an April Fool's joke back in like around the time construction came out, I thought.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. That was a joke for sure. Well, not a joke, but like a rumor.
Like 2008.
Yeah, it's 8 years ago. Kidding.
Yeah, so sailing, any other, besides sailing, any other ideas for new skills?
Well, if it comes at the end of the year, thinking like, I don't know, snowball making, or I mean, you can't say like pie or cookie baking because that's already in cooking.
True. Yeah, so like what kind of things do we need in the game?
I've heard necromancy.
What is that?
Like,
kind of like summoning in a way.
Yeah, it'd be branching off from like magic and summoning.
See, that was an idea that I was thinking, just with like the wilderness coming out, and like now, like with mobs kind of swarming you, like maybe it could be like some form of necromancy, but then that kind of like not exactly the same, but like summoning, you summon familiars, which kind of close to that, I guess, but
unless they create another elite skill.
That could be. I mean, maybe that's what it'll be.
I mean, yeah, you can make necromancy an elite skill, combine it with summoning, magic, and prayer, or something like that, since it's summoning skeletons.
Maybe expand on ancient summoning.
Yeah, something along those lines.
I think archaeology will be tied into it somehow.
Or, so you know how like the Majorat have like they use magic without runes. If there's like some way our character develops the power of the Majorat in that way, like part of an elite skill.
That could make sense. Maybe if then would incorporate rune crafting, even if it isn't exactly crafting runes in the physical sense. It's more of like a mental form of crafting it, where you would harness your knowledge of rune crafting to make the power, like combine it with magic or something. That'd be cool.
Absorb Moya's power after we destroy her.
Yeah, that could be it.
That would benefit anybody.
I feel like it's gonna be something that like nobody ever expects, because I feel like divination was one of those skills. I kind of am like leading towards something maybe like transformation. I don't know if you guys remember when they like had this huge thing that they're like, you can be an elf. You know, they released those elf ear things.
Yep.
I don't know if that it's gonna be something like you can transform into a different being for like a boss. I don't know. I have no idea, but I think it's something that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just like, yeah, I never thought of that. Some kind of like, I don't know, transformation style thing where you could turn into a bear or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what that's called. Shape shifting, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That I'd never even considered that. That'd be real cool. Combine that with like
and like like
skill if it were like hunter and magic and summoning, and that's a cool idea. I like that. And you could, depending on the different types of transformations, you have different types of abilities where bears are more tanky and they do more like bleed damage, where transforming into a freaking, I don't know, a bat, you have life siphoning abilities or something. That'd be cool.
I just thought like when they did the whole elf thing that it was gonna be way bigger than just a cosmetic elf ears. So that's kind of been in the back of my head since they did that. How many years ago was that? Like 4 or 5 or something?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The one I was thinking of, and you guys can hate me for this because I think it's something that people would hate. Oh, some people would love. I think other people would absolutely hate it. But a form of Slayer for skilling. So, for example, like you go up to someone and they're like, "Oh, I need 48 U longbows." So you have to create 48 U longbows and give it to them, and the next person's like, "Yo, I need 50 rune two-handers. Go make me 50 rune two-handers."
So basically, Morning's End Part 3. That's what you're saying.
Plus
yak
track.
Plus yak track.
Your skill cape can be a gopher on the back.
It can be whatever. Yeah, but it would really just be like, it's the skilling version of Slayer. You're going out, getting a task, completing the task, and then turning it in for your, I don't know, whatever the name of the skill is, gophering. Whatever it is.
What's that one class, like one small favor or something like that? Like just skill form. I like
one
it.
Large favor.
Yeah.
Somehow you made Slayer sound way worse than it feels when you're actually doing it.
I mean, it is pretty much that, though. Go out.
Yeah, right.
Hey, go kill this thing 68 times. So you do it. You kill it 68 times, and you come back and like, all right, kill this thing 52 times.
I wish they were that low.
Yeah, but instead it's like, yo, I need 130 bowstrings. Go make them.
You make them from scratch?
Oh,
is that a rule?
Yeah, you have to make them from scratch. It's the only way it counts.
Okay.
Otherwise, people would just be. Could you imagine it being a buyable? You just buy them all off the GE. And then the items, they leave the economy too. So it's like, yo, I need 160 rune full helms.
Hey, don't talk them into it.
Gotta go buy 160 rune full helms.
All of a sudden, those things are worth like 100K each.
So yeah, that was my idea. I think it's a terrible idea, and I would hate it. But
I hope it's
that sounds hard. Yeah.
I hope it's like either an elite skill or like a skilling skill, I guess, because I think combat has had enough. I think they've done enough recently with combat, and maybe they should cater a little bit to the skilling side of RuneScape. I think we've got a lot of bosses over the last few years, and people I know like Glad, like she doesn't really PVM, and I'm sure you would love to see like a new elite skill or something that's not combat related.
That's mining
related.
related.
Or something similar to dungeoneering. I thought was great, even though a lot of people hated that when that came out.
That's a mini game.
They're like, oh, I have 99 mini gaming. I'm like, fair.
Player is literally just, walking around, like Adam broke it down. Is you just go kill things and then go back and get another list of things to kill. And so it's like it's Slayer, but it's just you have 99 killing things.
It's pretty much what every other MMO made their quests.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I don't know if you guys have ever played other MMOs like WoW or something, where it's just like, hey, we need you to go kill 42 kobolds. Like, all right, I'll go kill the kobolds. All right, I need you to bring back this item from the hill giant. And then you spend like an hour waiting for those items to drop because they never do. You sit there raging.
At least they've tied though like certain drops with Slayer, like Cinderbanes for example. Like if you don't have the Slayer level, like that item wouldn't be in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like at least there's like even though it's breaks down to like go to this monster, kill it 100 times, at least like there's certain unlocks that you get from that. Like Cinderbanes have been out for years, and there's still any boss that is poisonable. Those are like your best in slot gloves still to this day.
I'm kind of along the lines of Kelly though with the idea of the new skill. I think it's going to be kind of a surprise. No one really is expecting it, and I think it's going to be similar to archaeology, where it's a support skill. You get the relics that you can activate on archaeology. It's just going to be a general overall support for the way we play RuneScape. I don't think it's going to be a combat related one, but I think there'll be things that you can get in the skill that benefit combat, but also benefit skilling.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna really guess it unless they do something lame like, oh, it's warding. We made it for old school, but they didn't want it, so here it is in our S3. That's also an option. But let us know what you guys think. Do you have an idea for a new skill? Let us know what your idea is in the comments. It'd be cool to go through that and see. Maybe you have an idea that none of us have thought of. But let's jump into our last bit, our last topic for the day. We're going to play our 20 questions game, and this time Kelly has thought up our 20 questions NPC. Well, I'll let you take it away now since you thought up the NPC for the day.
Thanks. I don't know what to say next, but y'all go ahead and ask the questions.
What were the rules again? I forgot.
Alright, so rules are we have to ask yes or no questions.
Okay.
And we have 20 questions to get to our answer, and then essentially question 21 has to be our guess as a group as to what the NPC Kelly is thinking of is, and it has to be an NPC that has a name. It cannot just be like Goblin.
Lumbridge guard.
So like, would a question be like, is the NPC a male or a female? Like that, I can't ask it like that.
No, you would have to ask it: is the NPC a male?
Okay.
It has to be a yes or no answer.
Okay.
So take it away. Let's go.
All right, I'll start with the first question. Is the NPC a Majorat?
Negative.
Not a Majorat. All right. That's question one. Anyone else got one?
Is the NPC a female?
Negative.
All right.
It's a male NPC.
How do we know it's a male?
Gender unknown.
Oh, it's going to be the one elf that you give the wedding ring to that is transgender. That's possible. It's possible.
Forgot about that.
I mean, aren't our characters kind of transgender for
I
certain
mean,
classes?
yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
It could. Well, I mean, I don't think it could be our character though. I could be like. Yeah, I don't think it would work unless it was our character.
That would be next level if it was the World Guardian.
That would be good. Does someone want to ask if the character's male just to be sure?
Yeah, I mean, why not? Is the character a male?
It is, yes.
All right, we got a male character that isn't a Majorat.
You already asked that question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It isn't a
He's
Majorat.
confirming what we know.
Yeah, we have a male non-Majorat
gotcha.
character.
I thought you said. Sorry, I thought you said is it.
Oh.
I was like, what? Deja vu?
All right, so
Those three.
it's a male.
Tom, you got a question?
Not really.
All right, I'll take. I got this one. Is this an NPC that we can attack in game?
No.
All right, we cannot attack this NPC in game. And it's a male.
How many questions is that? 3, 4?
That was 4.
Or come on.
You guys, let's go.
Come.
Do you want to go with races of the game and try to figure it out that way, or free to play member?
That's what's going to be my question. Is this NPC in the free to play area of the world?
Yes.
Is
Okay.
Bob? It's gonna be Bob the Axe Guy or Hans from Lumbridge.
Wait, is that an actual question?
No.
Are you asking?
No, I'm talking to the group.
Okay.
I was already thinking it might be Hans, but I didn't want to ask but I didn't want to.
I was literally gonna ask, is it Hans? Like before Adam asked his first question.
Is it Hans?
No. Fine.
It is not Hans.
Damn it!
That's too specific on this early in the game. Do we want to try to narrow the area down a little more? Free to play to city?
Probably. I feel like there's so many NPCs, it'd be good to narrow down location in general.
All right, I'll do this. Is the NPC... Would you consider the NPC within the confines of a major city?
That's a nice question.
Yes, I would.
All right. So it's in a major city of a free-to-play area, and it's a male.
You said considered.
Well, would you consider it within the confines of a major city? Yes.
Yes, I would. I would consider that. Yes.
Okay.
If
you're trying to be like, oh, it's the windmill way north of Lumbridge.
No. I just don't want you to get mad at me. Okay.
I have a question. Is the NPC in any quests?
Negative.
Not in any quests.
I think that might narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, a named character not in quests. That is kind of going to narrow it down a little bit.
We're probably going to have a few same questions, like if we're playing the NPC, just standard process of elimination here.
Yeah, man.
So he's male.
Within the confines of a major city.
Considered within.
Considered. By Kelly.
Yeah.
He's not related, and he's not in any quests.
Nope.
Tom?
I don't know. Is this character in the Lumbridge area?
Yes.
In Lumbridge. All right. Let's all head to Lumbridge.
No cheating.
You guys did that to me. How is that?
I did not.
I went
I did
straight
not.
to dungeoneering.
They went straight to dungeoneering in order to find out who it was.
I wasn't. I was
didn't
friggin'
move my
doing
character.
divination.
I don't even think I was logged in.
All right, so we got someone like Nasteroth.
Well, Lumbridge Sage is in a quest, isn't he?
Lumbridge Sage? I don't even know.
Do we want to start asking questions of who, or do we still want to try and narrow it down?
I mean, how many male NPCs are there in?
All right,
in the Lumbridge
area? I got you.
Man.
I think there's more than the females.
Yeah.
I was just thinking man.
Well, you still have 11 questions, so you might as well start asking stuff.
Asking, yeah.
Okay, is this NPC located south of the Lumbridge Castle? Or the Lumbridge, I'll say the Lumbridge Lodestone.
No.
Not south of the Lumbridge Lodestone.
Okay.
So from this tile
okay, so
up,
is it?
Is this NPC a tutor?
No.
how about, is this NPC located inside the Lumbridge Castle?
No.
Okay.
Is this NPC located next to the tree patch?
No.
Does this NPC give you a reward?
No.
Okay.
All right, I
mean, we didn't ask if it was Bob. He's not in. He's male, and he's not in the castle.
He's south of the Lumbridge Lodestone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is this NPC?
Did we ask if we can trade the NPC?
No,
we didn't.
Can we trade with the NPC?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys have 5 questions left? Yeah, 5 questions left.
Not Fred the farmer.
He's an asshole.
Dude, he
is.
Him and Bob are friggin' jerks. Sorry, are we allowed to cuss on this podcast? My bad. Sorry.
Bob is a jerk
hey,
too,
little kid, listen to this.
You can trade. Oh, does this person?
I can't think of.
Is this person north of the Memorial Fountain?
I don't even know what
Where
that
the hell
is.
that? I don't know where that is. Sorry. Hold on. Let me Where I don't know what that is.
Time to trail Kelly.
It's
gonna go find
Memorial Fountain. RS3 Memorial Fountain. Where is that?
It's right next to Hank.
Who the frick is Hank?
Not Hank, guys.
I guess it's not Hank.
That wasn't even a question.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's north.
The answer is yes.
North of the Memorial Fountain, in the Lumbridge area.
Wait, is the North Memorial Fountain like where the crater is and stuff?
Basically,
it's
yeah.
North.
Okay. Yes.
It's right between the crater and the all the stalls, like the vegetable stalls, bakery stalls, all that stuff.
Yes.
It's north of there, but it's still in Lumbridge.
Considered,
yeah. I was gonna say considered. Definitely, like.
I feel like that's a gray area. I don't know what considered means.
So then is the farm...
Exactly. That's why I was trying to cover my ass. I mean my butt. Sorry, little kids.
Yeah, she's way outside of what's considered Lumbridge, but whatever.
I don't know.
Well, not technically.
I mean, looking at what's considered Lumbridge on the wiki.
Alright, let's pull up Google Maps here.
Google Maps.
Where's the line drawn here?
I mean, for me, I guess the line would be drawn at the road that separates Farmer Fred's from the rest of Lumbridge. But
well, you asked me if I considered. That was your choice of words, not mine.
Kelly played super cheap. I was super helpful. She's like, I'm intentionally vague.
No.
I think we narrowed it down a lot faster than we did yours, though. Yours.
Yeah.
We didn't. I don't think we thought about like location questions as early.
I think we really solved that one in the last 3 questions.
Yeah.
The last question.
I
How
think
many more do we have?
the location question.
You have 3 more.
Is this,
3 more.
Does this?
No, I'm sorry, 4 more. 4
is
more.
this NPC next to some cows?
Yeah.
It's Beefy Bill.
Is it Beefy Bill? Yeah.
Yeah, that's my homeboy. You guys got it. Good job.
Yeah, that's definitely. There's literally a fence that separates Lumbridge from the rest. And he's
Okay,
north of the
Adam.
fence.
Why don't you
With a
RS
sign.
Wiki?
With a sign that says North Varrock.
No.
He's
Adam.
in Varrock.
Adam, look at RS Wiki. It says location Lumbridge. That's not me, fam.
I'm looking at this
That's
sign
not me,
right
fam.
here. I'm taking a screenshot. There's a sign that
I'll
says
take a
North
screenshot.
Lumbridge, and it points straight at him. Or
Lumbridge.
sorry, North Varrock.
Lumbridge.
West Lumbridge Mill, North Varrock, and it points straight at him for north.
Right.
He's Varrock.
Well,
the wiki is wrong.
I don't think it matters.
Well, that's not my problem.
I think we're fine.
That's fine. We got it. We won on this one.
I knew you were gonna pull that shit on me, and that's why I was saying considered.
That's why she
clarified. That's why if I were you, I'd have been like, I would rephrase that. That's why I asked you to rephrase.
Not me.
To be completely fair, like Lumbridge isn't like a walled city either.
Yeah,
so,
Adam.
And like if you consider like like Lumbridge as a city, like that small confined space, Draenor Manor is almost the same size as Lumbridge.
I would say it goes all the way up. There's literally like a fence line that goes all the way across. I would say if it's south of that fence, where the sign says North Varrock, West Lumbridge Mill, it's on. Anything south of that fence and west, totally Lumbridge. Totally fair to call Lumbridge. Once you cross one tile north of that fence, you're in Varrock.
It's just west of the river.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not my fault. You worded your question wrong, Adam. Do not blame me.
I worded it fine, but we got it. It's good. So, anything else we want to go into before ending the show?
Geography.
I guess.
More RuneScape geography next time.
More RuneScape geography. That'll be one of the questions you can answer in the comment. Where do you draw the line for Lumbridge?
My God, do not do this.
Is the border the River Lum?
Audience, go look up Beefy Bill on RS Wiki. There you go.
I'm just gonna change it right now.
I know.
That's my next task. Change the Wikipedia to say Varrock for Beefy Bill.
Kelly's gonna quit her podcast faster than she quits her new job.
I got my freaking. I got my.
Okay, I found it, and it says north of Lumbridge.
No, it doesn't. I sent you a screenshot. It says Lumbridge.
I'm looking at it. Okay, well, I'm looking at it right now, and it says
Adam
north
just
of
changed
Lumbridge.
it.
I didn't change it. I'm not kidding.
Okay, well, it says Lumbridge.
In your screenshot, it definitely says Lumbridge. On my screenshot, it definitely says north of Lumbridge. Are you on the wiki or are you on the fandom?
Varrock. Nowhere does it say Varrock. Nowhere does it say that.
Varrock is north of Lumbridge.
Sorry about it.
But
alright, I'm looking right now.
I'm serious. We have two different pictures here.
Well, that's fine. You said, would you consider? I considered it.
I definitely did. You just consider it wrong. But that's okay. We're going to end the show here. I thank you guys all for watching. I hope you all had a good time. And again, let us know. Is it in Lumbridge or not? We'll let the comments decide. I hope everyone has a good time. Anyone want to plug anything? Instagrams, Twitters, anything like that before we go?
No.
Phone number? I need friends.
Phone number?
Feel free to jump in to any of our clan chats, I guess. You want to advertise your clan chat at all? If you're an Ironman, at least? Because they only allow irons?
No. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, so I'm not going to say anything. maybe all of a sudden I'm in the elitist clan, which I'll feel bad about, so I'm just not going to say anything. I despise elitist people, kind of. But yeah, I don't want to be an elitist. So.
All right. With that, I hope you guys all have a good one, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.